live to see the live. This is very great. This is my first live ever. So yeah, let's start. So thank you for being here. Thank you for showing such an interest in the event. I am going to start off by asking this question. Why I am creating this event? This is because I have recently got the Google Professional Machine Learning Engineer certification. And when I have shared this on LinkedIn, I have received many requests, people asking me, please share your feedback, share your tips, share your tricks, share your learning path to get this certification. So instead of just writing a post on LinkedIn, I have chosen to create this live event to make things more cool, more explainable for you. I think speaking is better than just reading. Seeing me is better than just reading a text. So this is the idea behind the event, and let's talk about myself for a little bit. I am a freelance machine learning engineer from Paris. I teach machine learning and deep learning at a platform called atelierdeeplearning.com. I am sharing every day on LinkedIn about machine learning, so feel free to follow me and really let's grow together. Let's learn together each single day. To reach me, you have either my email address or my phone number. And please tell me at any time if you are having any problem with the live. So let's talk about the exam. The exam takes 2 hours. There are 60 questions. It costs us $200 and it's in English. The format is multiple choice and multiple select. And what Google recommends is to have at least 3 experience in the machine learning industry and 1 year of experience in designing and managing solution using Google Cloud Platform. But I don't think it takes to such a huge experience, and we will see how you will get how you can prepare for the exam without actually having a lot of experience. So let's start by explaining what's a professional machine learning engineer according to Google. A professional machine learning engineer designs, builds, and productionizes machine learning models to solve business challenges using Google Cloud Platform, using many services, either managed or not managed, and he or she has a knowledge to take some models from just Jupyter Notebook to production. So the machine learning engineer collaborates closely with other job roles to ensure that we meet a long-term success metrics of our models. He or she should be proficient in many aspects of model architecture, data pipeline interaction, and metrics interpretation. He or she needs familiarity with application development, infrastructure management, data engineering, and security. And finally, through understanding of training, retraining, deploying, scheduling, monitoring, and improving models, the machine learning engineer creates scalable solution for optimal performance. So let's see what the exam talks about. The exam assesses your ability to what? To frame machine learning problems, to architect machine learning solution, prepare and pre-process data, develop machine learning models, automate and orchestrate machine learning pipelines, and finally monitor and optimize and maintain machine learning solution. I have just put it in a graph here. We see the workflow from the first step to the last step. But let's get in more details about each section. So the exam guide, which is actually in the website, I have everything copy pasted from there almost. There's 6 huge sections that you need to ensure you are really confident and you are really having all the experience and the knowledge about each single point. So what I recommend is you go check the exam guide, and for each point you ask yourself, do I know how, for example, for the first section, do I know how I translate business challenge into machine learning use case? You ask yourself this question. If the answer is yes, move to the next point. Otherwise, go check on internet, go make some research on YouTube, on courses, on public MOOC, etc. So let's see each of these points, and make sure to have this task of asking yourself a question about each point. So the first section is machine learning problem framing. Make sure you know, as we said before, how to translate business challenges into machine learning use case. Make sure you know how to define machine learning problem. Make sure you know how to define business success criteria, and identify risks to feasibility and implementation of machine learning solution. The second section is about machine learning solution architecture. This is in the case you have chosen to go with machine learning, and you have seen that your problem can be solved with machine learning. Of course, not every problem in the world needs machine learning, and not every problems can be solved with machine learning. So in this section, make sure that you know how to design and scale machine learning solution. Make sure you know how to choose the appropriate Google Cloud software services, for example, component for your use case, and make sure you know how to choose the Google Cloud hardware component for your client or for a specific use case. Finally, make sure you know how to design architecture that compiles with regularity and security concern. The third section is about data preparation and processing. This is almost about assessing your ability that you know how to do some streaming data pipeline or batch pipeline at scale. So you know how to ingest data, how to explore it, analyze it, visualize it, how to build a pipeline at scale, and actually you do know how to do feature engineering. Keep in mind, feature engineering is so important that Indro NG once said, almost any applied machine learning problem is feature engineering problem. So this is for the third section. Let's move to the fourth section, which is about machine learning model development. Make sure you know how to build a model, how to train a model, how to test a model, and how to scale it, and how to actually train it and serve it at scale. We will see in more details this point later. The fifth section is about machine learning pipeline automation and orchestration. We have seen how to build a pipeline for data processing. Now you need to know how to build a pipeline for machine learning. You need to know how to design and implement a training pipeline, a serving pipeline, and make sure it runs at scale. Make sure you have a continuous delivery and continuous integration, and make sure you have a automatic way to deploy models to roll back, for example, for another version, etc. So you need to know how to track it and how to audit your pipeline. It's almost software engineering with new components related to machine learning. So the final section is about machine learning solution monitoring, optimization, and everything around. So you need to know how to monitor machine learning solution, how to troubleshoot existing machine learning solution. Your client asks you, I am having some problems with my Google Cloud Platform projects about machine learning. You need to know how to troubleshoot, how to go search for the limit of some component, and how you need to choose some component over another for your machine learning application. You need to know, of course, how to test a model and how to tune the performance of your model to make sure your performance are very, very optimal. So this is about the exam guide. There are 6 sections. Make sure you go through each section. Make sure you go through each point of each section and ask yourself, do I know how to implement a training pipeline? Yes, I'm okay. I move to the next point. No, I go search on Google, on YouTube, on some MOOC until I am feeling confident that I know to do how this point, and I move to another one. So you see there's a lot of things, and don't worry, Google recommends for you a learning path. You almost start from nothing, just having some background in statistics and mathematics, and you can for yourself, you do this on online courses. You can for yourself do some public and on internet courses and here's the recommended path by Google. You start off by the Big Data and Machine Learning Fundamentals course. You go check the Machine Learning with TensorFlow on Google Cloud course. Then there is actually these are specializations. They are 5 or 4 courses put together. And then there's another specialization called Advanced Machine Learning with TensorFlow on Google Cloud Platform. After you have done that, you can do the MLOps Machine Learning Operation Fundamentals course. And finally, you can check the Machine Learning Pipeline on Google Cloud. I have put the link down, so you can check this for yourself later. But yeah, this is what Google recommends. For myself, here's my learning path. Here's what I have done for myself to tackle this preparation and to raise at least my chances of getting the certification. I have started off with almost the same thing, which is the Big Data and Machine Learning Fundamentals, where you will learn how to use Google Cloud Components, how to do data engineering with big data, how to do machine learning at scale, etc. But this is not some very broad introduction. Now you can move more specific, and you can check the course called Machine Learning with TensorFlow on Google Cloud, which is a specialization. After that, you can do the specialization called Advanced Machine Learning with TensorFlow on Google Cloud, where you will see a serious machine learning pipelines, where we run very huge data set training, for example, serving at scale, distributed training using some pipeline with Kubeflow, for example, etc. Then I have done the MLOps fundamentals on Google Cloud. And after doing all of these courses, I have read the blog which is made by Google, which is free, called Rules of Machine Learning, Best Practices for Machine Learning. There are actually 40 rules that I highly recommend to read. They will give you some very good idea about how to frame a machine learning problem, how to develop a machine learning solution. And actually there's a lot of mistakes that engineers at Google have made. So in this blog, they are explaining their experience, and they are explaining the mistake they have made and how they have solved some of these problems, and how Google today serves billions of users, how Google uses machine learning at scale. So this is something really I highly recommend, actually. After that, I have done the free course called Google Machine Learning Crash Course, which is a free course talking about machine learning and about how to frame a machine learning problem, about machine learning fairness, etc. So I highly recommend, because it will give you the way Google do machine learning, and the way Google has his strategy of machine learning, which is really great, and opens up your mind on how to do highly scalable, highly available machine learning solution serving billions and millions of users. After that, I have read a lot of Google Cloud machine learning articles, tutorials, and solution. You just go to Google, you type Google Cloud Machine Learning Solution. You will see many clients that have used Google Cloud Platform to do machine learning. They explain, we have used Dataflow to do some data processing. We have used, AI platform to do model training, etc. So this will give you an idea how to make a great and scalable pipeline with a use case, with a defined use case, and with a client given some real feedback. Then I have read the book called Machine Learning Design Patterns that I have already shared and recommended on LinkedIn. And finally, I have gone through many playlists on YouTube. For example, the AI Adventures, TensorFlow playlist, Kubeflow playlist, and I have read a lot of docs about GCP component, how to troubleshoot some GCP components, how to do some, how to know the quotas of some GCP component and the limits of some of them and how to choose a service over another and when. So here is my learning path. Here is what I have gone through to prepare and to raise my chance of getting the certification. So that was all about giving some concepts, some broad idea. Here I have chosen to put some topics which are just some tokens. They are not exhaustive, but this will give you an idea about the component, the topics that you need to make sure you know how to work with them, you know every single thing about them. So check TensorFlow, of course. Make sure you know how to use it. Check Keras and Estimator API, how to build deep learning models with this API. Check tf.data API for data processing. Check TF records format. Check TF transform for transforming data, and TF serving for serving your model. Check TensorFlow distributed training and how to choose a strategy, for example, the centered storage strategy or mirrored strategy to make your training distributed over many nodes. And know how to use and when to use GPU, when to use CPU, and when to use TPU, and why choosing one over another, and in which case. Know how to do feature engineering in TensorFlow using the tf.feature column. You also need to know how to build pipeline with TensorFlow extended, TFX. You need to know how to do embedding, how to handle the case when your dataset is imbalanced, and of course, you absolutely need to know almost everything about AI platform, training, serving, how to do distributed training with containers, how to do distributed training with built-in algorithm, how to run a new notebook instance with built-in frameworks for deep learning, for example, how to do hyperparameter tuning, how to do some data labeling. Then you need to know also how to use the data warehouse called BigQuery, how to use the BigQuery machine learning, which is machine learning using SQL, when and how to use AutoML, when and how to use the machine learning API, how to use the AutoML tables, how to use the AutoML vision, AutoML videos. And this is something that I recommend to do. Is the first thing to think of when you choose to do machine learning with Google Cloud is check if there is an existing API. If not, move on to using AutoML. If not, move on to using BigQuery machine learning. If not, move on to using AI platform built-in algorithm. And finally, if none of these help you, go with AI platform training. Also check the recommendation AI, check the document AI, know at least how to use them, know how to use the Google Cloud storage, how to put data, some non-structured data there, know how to identify and evaluate biases, know how to use a deep learning virtual machine and how to troubleshoot, know how to do explainable AI using AI platform, for example, using an integrated gradients or using the library shape, and know how to do some model analysis with what if tool over TensorBoard, know how to do data validation, what is data leakage, in which case you can face it, know how to use Data Studio, for example, for doing some data visualization, know what does it mean training, serving, skew when the data is different from training and serving. Make sure you know these basics about regression, classification, recommendation, and some use cases in retail, finance, for example, or automotive industry. Make sure you know how to monitor using Google Cloud. Know how to do MLOps using Kubeflow, for example, either with Kubeflow Pipeline SDK or with TFX SDK. Make sure you know the basic metrics like precision, recall, and F1 score. Make sure you know how to do transfer learning. Make sure you know how to make a good feature a good feature. What is machine learning fairness? And pay attention to this new field, because it will help you move from just a model that gives good performance to a model that gives great performance that we can trust. And check how to and when to choose canary deployment. What is canary deployment versus ABI testing? How to handle missing data? How to do feature cross when you tell your model that Monday 8 a.m. is not like Friday 8 a.m. And finally, check these components, these services of Google Cloud, which are more about data engineering actually, but they are really important to know, because in a lot of time you will see yourself working with a workflow involving many of these components. And these components are Google Cloud Composer, which is a managed Airflow, Google Cloud Data Flow, which is a managed Apache Beam for batch and streaming pipeline, Google Cloud PubSub for streaming data ingestion, Google Cloud Function, Google Cloud Storage, Google Cloud SQL, which is a managed SQL database, and finally Google Cloud Spanner, which is a managed SQL spanner, but for some really huge data handling. So these are the topics. I haven't put everything, but make sure you know at least these topics to feel more confident, to have more deep knowledge about machine learning and about MLOps, and this will help you with your preparation. So I will give you now some tips and tricks which are not related to preparation, but which are mostly related to the exam. So the first thing you have to do is plan the date of the exam. Make sure you fix a deadline. Say to yourself, I am going to try the certification, to pass the certification, or in 1 month, in 2 months. But the idea is you put a deadline and you force yourself to be more serious about the preparation. The second tips that worked really for me is to go through all the questions and bookmark each one. This really depends on your speed. For myself, I have done all the questions in 1 hour, and for the remaining time, for the remaining hour, I have gone through all the questions again and made sure that I have given the right answer, even if the first time I was giving a very bad answer. So bookmark each question, and if you see that there is a remaining time, check this bookmark question. If there isn't remaining time, no problem. Also, don't waste too much time on a single question. Not because the question is hard, meaning that it has a high score. Don't waste the time on a single question. Move on to the next one. Make sure you won't be distracted. Be in a closed room. Don't let anyone get in the room. Be really make sure you won't be distracted. This is my advice. And read the question token by token. Really read the question, because at many times almost the answer is there. You can work by elimination. You can just eliminate some responses and keep only some possible choices. And finally, Google provides some simple questions, so make sure to do them and don't stop until you get 100%. Some interesting grids I have put for you is the machine learning operations MLOps continuous delivery and automation pipeline in machine learning, in the way of doing it with Google Cloud Platform. How to do data life cycle on Google Cloud Platform, from data ingestion to machine learning and data visualization. And finally, how to solve some problems, some machine learning and big data problem problems using Google Cloud Platform. To end up this stream, and why to do this certification, and what's the biggest added value for myself and for you, I think too, it's going to help you move from being a machine learning fan that just take some already existing algorithm and some small data set, some small CSV, what we call a toy machine learning problem on Jupyter Notebook. The data set that the data set just fits in your memory. And this certification, by preparing for it, by doing some serious preparation, I guarantee to you, you will move from doing toy machine learning problem on Jupyter Notebook to doing machine learning solution at scale, to know how to make streaming data pipeline, to know how to do or how to handle very large data set, how to do machine learning, MLOps, machine learning operations, how to do continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous training of your machine learning model, how to train at scale using GPU, using TPU, how to serve at scale, how to monitor your pipeline, and how to make a machine learning pipeline, how to make sure that your model gives the best performance at the inference time, how to manage infrastructure, how to do distributed training, how to do high performance data processing, how to validate your data and make sure it's valid and it has a good quality before giving it to your model, either at training or at prediction, how to analyze your model, how to roll back when a new version of your model doesn't is not good, how to benefit from the Google Cloud computing elasticity and availability to make machine learning pipeline at scale, and finally how to make and how to build maintainable workflow on Google Cloud. So that was all. I highly recommend you go through this journey. It takes a lot of preparation, but it will seriously change your career. It will seriously change your vision about machine learning. So yeah, that was all. I would like to thank you very much for being here. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Don't be very distracted on the exam day. Make your time to prepare for your exam, and I hope this event will help you raise your chances of getting the certification, and I seriously wish you a good luck. Thank you very much, and ciao ciao. And yeah, for the question, please do me a favor. Ask me your questions on LinkedIn. I will answer every single questions. I will answer everyone, I promise. I don't have a lot of time to stay on this streaming event. Just send me your personal questions on my LinkedIn and I will answer you. Thank you very much.